The restaurant was silent, except for the sound of a pen tapping nervously against a $2,000 suit sleeve. Edward Grant, the billionaire CEO of Grant Holdings, was about to close a $200 million merger that could redefine his company's future. Cameras were ready. Lawyers waited with documents. Investors whispered about the media announcement scheduled for later that evening. Everything was perfect, until a trembling voice cut through the tension. "Sir, you need to leave." The words didn't come from one of his assistants or security staff. They came from a waitress, barely 22, holding a tray that shook in her hands. Her name tag read Lila. Her voice was soft but steady, though her eyes betrayed fear. Edward blinked, thinking he'd misheard. "Excuse me?" She swallowed hard. "Sir, please. You need to leave right now." The room went still. His partners exchanged awkward glances. One of them smirked, assuming it was some kind of prank. But the young woman didn't smile. Her breathing was shallow, her eyes wide with urgency. Edward stood, straightening his tie. "Miss, this is a private business meeting. I suggest you—" "Please," she interrupted, almost whispering. "It's about your son." Every sound vanished. The pen stopped tapping. The air seemed to vanish from the room. Edward's heart skipped a beat. "My son?" he asked, his voice barely audible. Lila nodded quickly, tears filling her eyes. "He's in the hospital. They just called the restaurant because your phone was unreachable. He's asking for you." The merger, the cameras, the million-dollar smiles, all blurred into nothing. In that instant, Edward Grant wasn't a billionaire, wasn't a boss, wasn't a man about to sign history. He was just a father. Without a word, he grabbed his coat and walked out, ignoring the confused voices behind him. The hospital smelled like antiseptic and fear. Edward's expensive shoes echoed down the hallway as he ran toward the pediatric wing. His assistant, breathless and panicking, tried to explain what had happened. His son, Adam, had collapsed during soccer practice. A suspected heart condition they never knew existed. When Edward burst into the room, he froze. There was his 8-year-old boy, pale and small beneath a mountain of tubes. Machines beeped rhythmically beside him. "Dad," the child whispered weakly, his lips trembling. Edward's composure shattered. He fell to his knees beside the bed, taking his son's tiny hand into his. "I'm here, buddy. I'm right here." Adam smiled faintly. "You missed my game again." The words hit harder than any loss. Edward had missed birthdays, school plays, late-night talks, all for boardrooms, deals, and endless flights. And now, as his son lay between life and death, none of those victories meant a thing. Hours passed. The doctors managed to stabilize Adam, but he needed surgery. As Edward waited outside the operating room, he sat in silence, something he hadn't done in years. For once, there